paradox we're about to explore is called the paradox of the forgotten future. It begins with someone named Amara. She keeps a box of journals tucked away in her closet, each one filled with goals, hopes, predictions, and plans. Every January, she writes what she wants the year to look like, and every December, she forgets what she wrote. Sometimes she finds the journals again. She flips through pages full of certainty, pages that predicted a future that never arrived. Some of it was close, some of it was wildly wrong, most of it. She doesn't even remember writing. That's the paradox. We try to shape the future, but when the future becomes the present, we often forget what we were aiming for. This is the paradox of the forgotten future. It asks a quiet but important question. If the future you once worried about no longer matters, why did it feel so urgent? We spend so much time preparing for tomorrow. We worry about choices. We play out imaginary outcomes. We try to predict what we'll want, need, or become. But when tomorrow comes, we rarely remember the worries that shaped it. We live in the present, forgetting how deeply we once feared or desired this moment. It happens in relationships. You wonder if someone will text back. You imagine what you'll say when they do. And a year later, you can't even remember their name. It happens in careers. You lose sleep over whether to take the job. And months later, you forget why it felt so impossible to choose. It happens in everyday life. You obsess over decisions that vanish the moment they're made. This paradox reveals something simple and strangely comforting. Most of the futures you worry about will be forgotten. The fears will fade, the stakes will dissolve, the predictions will blur, and the person you'll become won't always remember the pressure you're under now. So, does that mean the future doesn't matter? Not exactly. It means the weight we place on it is often heavier than it needs to be. Amara realized this one evening while rereading an old journal. She found a page filled with worry. She was convinced that one specific outcome would shape everything. But it didn't. It came and went. And she became who she was, not because of that outcome, but in spite of it. That's the hidden truth of the forgotten future. We think we are building toward a destination, but most of the time we are simply moving, adapting, becoming. The future matters, but not always in the ways we expect. So as you lie here now, let your imagined futures soften. Let the what-ifs release their grip. You don't need to see every possibility clearly. You don't need to control what happens next, because chances are you'll forget this fear someday, and all that will remain is the person you became after it passed. That person is already forming, one breath at a time, one moment at a time, with or without a perfect plan. But if you're still awake, here's something to gently consider. If most of the futures you worry about are forgotten, was the worry ever part of your real path? And if the future always becomes now, what would change if you treated this moment like the one you were waiting for? Let me know in the comments, before this present becomes another forgotten tomorrow.